manager for Discraft, and Paul's my right-hand man. He's the team captain. I met Paul through, disc golf obviously, but through Mike Wagner, our CEO. They were really close. Probably since 2006? Since you were first on the team.
Yeah.
So Paul and Mike stayed in contact, and they would stay with each other when they would travel and stuff. So naturally I was around Paul a lot. I've known Paul for 7 years now. D-Glow. What year did Callaway beat you?
2000, who knows? Yeah, 14? So 13, 14, something like that.
Yeah, that's when I got to know Paul more so than just being a fan. Honestly, I was, growing up, I was kind of a fan of Paul's because he would always come to Michigan and play, our smaller events. And we always thought that was really cool. A touring pro coming to some of the local smaller events for us. So don't tell him that though, that I was a fan. Okay.
That's great.
Thanks. I've been there 13 years.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. And I've been managing the team for about 7 years, 8 years. It's nice having someone in the industry that knows, I brought the business side, he brings the experience from traveling, and he's basically the OG at disc golf, honestly, one of the original full-time touring pros, so he knows a lot of the ins and outs, the tour life, and the tour life's not easy, so I really needed someone that was able to, scout players on the road, also mentor and help our team get through those tough times. It's very challenging being away from your family that long, and sometimes, you're struggling to make ends meet on the road, and, he's done all that, so what better player to help along with that, so he's been a big force with our team. One of my stripes?
Whatever you want, open.
Watch out. Sunny. Ooh, it's so good. I think I might run it today.
All of a sudden you turn it so fast. You turn the camera on.
Turning really good. Back to normal.
Like you were saying, it's tough out there. I wouldn't change any of it in my life, but as far as people thinking that it's like a breeze, even nowadays, with contracts changing and people getting paid a little bit more money, that doesn't make it necessarily easier. To be on the road, it's a fact that one of the things I bring up a lot is I don't really know my nieces and nephews. I've been on the road for that long.
Right.
I lived on the road for years and years and years, and that's a tough thing, to come back and I'm more of a friend to them than an uncle, which is weird, but it's little sacrifices you have to make, and struggles that people don't realize, and that's too much for a lot of people. And rightfully so. That stuff's super important. So, it's not just, not knowing where your next meal's gonna come or when you're gonna cash next. It's the fact that you have that security right at your fingertips if you want to, and you want to give up and go home or do whatever.
Right.
And I realize that, And so, to be able to provide, when players are struggling, to be able to provide a little security, to be like, hey man, we'll get better, just take your time, or
been there.
Yeah, been there, man. You can do it, or you can't. Kids these days, when they ask me what is it, would you suggest me quitting school and going on tour? I'm like, no,
absolutely not. That, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, and I tell them that because I say your best case scenario is and this was a few years ago when I really wasn't making any money playing disc golf. I'm a success story, and I have a couple $1,000 in the bank.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
This is as good as it's gonna get, and I don't own a house or do any of that, so it's not a glamorous lifestyle.
But on that note,
it's becoming more of that, but it's also because of the hard work that my generation put in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to tell right now because we're dealing with COVID. and we're dealing with a sport that people can actually go out and enjoy in a time where everything's taken away from us. So, I mean, I hope this growth is here to stay. I think that, we'll still see a big growth in new players coming in, especially as it gets on ESPN, becomes more mainstream. I see the professional side changing a ton. We're outgrowing the professional side, and there's gonna be a lot of changes that need to be made, and things might get harder. It might not be so easy for people just to jump on the pro circuit. But I definitely can see a lot of changes on the pro side in the next 10 years. If we want to get to mainstream media. It's just can't
Is that
be.
the goal?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always been the goal. I mean, you need visibility to show off the sport. I think it's, honestly, we get thrown into the category of like, cornhole, darts, pool, but I don't see it. I mean, we're golf, so there's no reason. We've already seen a sport that's similar blow up, in the last 100 years. There's no reason we can't expedite things and get there. And I think, like Paul was saying, he treated it as a career before it really was a career, and that's what helped pave the way. Is he took it serious from day one, put the time in, put the work in, played through injuries, many injuries. I mean, he had a serious injury, last year, 2 years ago. It kind of was developing, and he's played through that and overcome a lot of things. So hats off to him for that. On the table.
I almost ran the table.
I know. I noticed that.
Nice shot.
That was really clean.
That was smooth.
I'm from Michigan. So,
Okay.
yeah, headquarters is in Michigan, Wick's in Michigan. We're working 60, 70 hours a week in the office. So I get out to all the bigger Discraft events. Memorial is one that we've hit for many, many years. So I always come out here more of a vacation than it's a work/vacation. But I'll see them usually at, D-Glow, Ledgestone, GMC, all the big Discraft events we'll be at. Worlds. Three words.
Which one's spot?
Yeah.
Arrogant, cocky.
No,
douchey.
No, I think three words to describe Paul would be dedicated, genuine, and compassionate. He's very understanding of, what's going on with everybody, and he's been there. So I think those are the three words I would use to describe Paul. Did you let me win? Thank you.
Cut it.
I'm not letting you let me win. That's the deal there. So.
Alright, well.
Overly competitive too. I throw that on there.
Yes.
Also.
No, I know that from growing up. Everything.
I think that's the dedication though. He's going to give it his all no matter what he's doing. It could literally be who can blow their nose better, and Paul will give it his all.
He'll blow his nose better.
We got a nose blowing competition after this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Cocky. I mean, it could be stressful, and there's a lot of pressure, to maintain that and to, keep everybody happy. We're dealing with a lot of high-end players that have different personalities, so I think it's a lot more work than people probably realize, but it's honestly a dream come true. And we've been so selective on who we get for this team because we want it to be a family. We really do, and we don't want short-term sponsorships. We don't want a lot of turnaround. I mean, there's times where we won't, probably go after a player that moves around a lot. So it's a lot of work. It's not, people are seeing the success, but they haven't seen the last 7 years of sacrifice and stress and disappointment, all those things that go along with, rebuilding basically. So, it's amazing, but there's definitely a lot behind the scenes that goes on.
And when he says it's a lot like family, it's that plus, in order to be in the family, you have to have the right characteristics, and it's not just we're happy to have anybody. You gotta be hardworking, dedicated, talented. We want to fit all of the necessary criteria. That's That way, you know, you feel like you fit in.
Yeah.
You like everybody on the team, you respect everybody. And then leading forward, I feel like any, you know, championship team on the planet, all those things coincide. You know, hard work, talented, you know, working together, unity, the whole thing.
Willingness to put yourself out there, I mean, that's a big thing. That's, you know, you're seeing players like Brody and Ezra, Paul, you know, coming out with YouTube channels and making their own content and really putting themselves out there. And sometimes they don't, you know, it seems like they're having fun and everything, but it's a job. It's a job on top of a job they already have. So work ethic and dedication are really what we're looking for. And good attitudes, you know, we don't want any riffraff on our team. And we have an open team. I mean, everybody discusses issues, problems we have. You know, no one's afraid to communicate about things that are bothering them, and communication is going to go a long way to keep this team successful for a long time. And that was the goal. We didn't want to be a one-night, you know, overnight success. We wanted to be 20 years into the future. You know, we want to be the Nike of our sport. So
Absolutely.
And we want to feed off of each other's success too. There's nobody selfish on the team. You know, it's a highly competitive team within itself, but that's why the respect factor is so important because, you know, even with like Paige and Paul, those two are 5-time world champions in different divisions, so much respect for each other, but there's also a competitive rivalry within that, which elevates everybody. You know, that with the best players on the team, their success brings everybody below them up, gets them more stuff, gets them more motivated, and it's just like, I feel like, you know, that's like the goal, like he's saying, 20 years from now with that type of leadership at the top, like there's no way we can fail.
we have the hardest team in disc golf together, hands down. I mean, we put a lot of time and effort into checking into their background, who they really are, you know, their family situations, just everything to see, do we have the right fit to elevate us to that next level. And it's not Discraft that they're elevating, it's the sport. So I think that's one thing that's unique for me and Paul is we don't just represent Discraft, we represent the sport when we're making these decisions. And that's, we're not biased in any way. I mean, we know we have faults and we make mistakes, but the sport is in mind in all those decisions, for sure.
Responsibilities, just like you said, like when I hear that, you know, having a sports background and growing up like that, it just lead by example. Like, you know, work really hard. I've never been the best player, but I've always been a really hard worker. Never gave up. Always grinded it out. You know, I know that at the end of my career, like stats are going to be a big part of like hopefully making the Hall of Fame and. You know, with that responsibility means I can't give up. You know, I gotta play all the time, which people can look up to that and be like, dang, he's playing again this weekend. Like, what the heck? Like, I want a weekend off. But if I don't take a weekend off, you know, then I can show that type of leadership. Or if I expect somebody to have a YouTube channel and Instagram and all this stuff in order to get on the team, how can I tell them to do that if I'm not doing it? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I want to check all the boxes and I also want to be a good player as well, which I know, you know, through my career I have that, and so I have to add the other things on to be like, you know, out there with them doing it first of all. Then for them to respect me because, you know, they see me out there grinding and working really hard. Being likable and friendly to them, of course, but also being that leader they can be like, you know, when it's time to like sit down and have a serious talk with them, they respect me. Like, that's what I think when I think of a team captain, and that's the type of captain that I try to be.
So in I think it was like 2011 or 2012 probably, when Prodigy came out, we lost a big chunk of our team. And I would argue then that we had the strongest team in disc golf before I took over the team. You know, Brian Sullivan used to run the team then. So there was some morale killer there where we lost a lot of players that we had built these long-term relationships with. And in reality, I mean, we lost them for very little, but in the sports eyes back then, it was huge, and that helped set the next milestone that we're now. But, you know, there was a process where we couldn't keep up the production that we already had. you know, we were already overworked and we couldn't keep up production then. So we didn't set our sights on rebuilding the team right away. We literally just tightened our team up with everyone that was already dedicated to us, showed the support for us, you know, had our backs when we were down. And just, you know, tightened up on that family feel. And we worked hard behind the scenes, building a new warehouse, offices, way more machines, more employees. That takes many years to be able to do that kind of stuff. So we spent 6 years before we really started making the moves that we did, and that was all behind the scenes. And I think it was like 2018, Nate Doss had basically let us know he didn't want to be the face of the company. He was going to go on his own journey to open the brewery, and he gave us his blessing, you know, to make some big changes and make some big moves, you know. And like I said, our loyalty was to Nate, you know, for sticking with us and being the 3-time world champ. So he kind of set the bar. He was honestly like the team captain before we really had that role. And that's where, you know, Yuli really caught our eye. That's some big shoes to fill. Nate Doss traveled for 10 years straight. He didn't travel as much as you, but he put in a lot of time. And that was some big shoes to fill, needing that experience and that advice and that drive. So that's kind of how we ended up really getting serious with Yuli. We joked around for many years. Hey, we want to get you back on Discraft. You know, you're already family. It seems weird you're not on the team. But that really just kickstarted everything. So, and most people don't realize we actually had worked out a deal with Yuli before we had really even started talking about it.
Oh.
So all the news came out around the same time because you have to wait till, you know, January 1st basically. So.
Right.
What's next? Expansion. Honestly, yeah, we're trying to ramp up production. That's the main thing. We can't keep this in stock. It's been a good thing, but it's been stressful. You know, a lot of relationships that we've had for a long time are, you know, getting everything that we can get to them. So, you know, we're thinking about the retailers right now and how we can get to that next level. So it's kind of going in waves. We got the team worked out now, but now we have to go back to the production side of things and, you know, rebuild that. So more machinery, bigger building, all that goes along with it.
Sure.
But also not outgrowing, you know, you don't want to grow too fast because we don't know what's going to happen with COVID after people start going back to work and kids start going back to school. I think that's a big thing that you have to think about and calculate.
Yeah, for me, I think it's trying to find the next generation. You know, my career is like, you know, I'm getting up there in age. I probably have like about 5-6 years of good years left. So I want to find, like, you know, the next Paul Ulibarri and the next Paul Beth to, you know, fill those shoes and stuff. You know, we got Ezra now, which I think is a great fit at Adam. We got a great young team. So just to make sure that we kind of mold them and push them in the right direction so that they can, you know, fill those roles eventually. Is like, I guess my main focus is just to make sure that we're on the right track, everybody's doing the right things the right way. When you're on tour, I mean, it's really easy to lose your way and kind of, you know, think of it as more of a vacation instead of a job. So I think that's where my focus is. Just
for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't probably realize this, but when we talked in 2018, that was with the idea that this is forever. I mean, Ulibarri is going to become part of Discraft long term. And, you know, I'm giving him all the knowledge I have from the business side. He's giving me all the knowledge he has from the, you know, the actual experience. And hopefully, you know, that's going to transition into, you know, another role for him later on where he's, you know, in my shoes, right? You know, helping grow the sport by changing, like you said, getting the younger players and taking us to the next level.
Ezra, like you said, is a great example. We keep going back to him, but you gotta think about it like this. Like last year, it was at one point it was 990 rated, which is a really low rating for somebody for us to scout. But because he was humble, he had a YouTube channel that he posted all the time. He was living out of his car. You know, his diet was obviously, he's insanely healthy. He works out every single night. Anytime I go to the park, he's practicing, but in a professional way. So for us, it was a no-brainer to go after him even then. And then now, you know, coming into this year, he almost won the first big tournament of the year. And so it's not a secret, you know, of what you have to do to get on the team. Like, work hard, do well with social media, because that's a really big part of society nowadays, really, and sports.
Yeah.
And then, like he said, be humble, and then hard work always pays off. And a lot of other players, that the way that I fulfill my role is, I know how I got here, and so he's good about this is because I'm like, well, no, I want them to play a million tournaments, and he's like, well, slow down, like, there's other ways they can do it, but I'm a workhorse, you know. So I think together we can look at a player and be like, really find the qualities that they have. But I mean, it just comes down to, you know, like you said, being humble, work hard, do everything the right way. We'll see it.
Yeah. I just want to thank the fans. I mean, really, when we'd be having this conversation if it wasn't for everybody supporting what we're doing. One thing I would say is the more you support players, not even just Discraft players, but the more you support players, the more the manufacturers are going to put back into the players and allow this to continue to grow. So always keep that in mind. You know, when you see a tour disc for sale, or you know, any of the players that are earning that right to get their name on a disc, please support them.
That's right. Yeah. Like, subscribe.
Because I see him beat everyone every time I'm around him, and then I always win.
I would never let anybody win ever.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I don't know, man. FIFA, whenever you wanted to score against somebody else, you did. But you
I don't understand. You know, your defense is really good.
Well, I watched you lose to Germ on that video I edited the other day.
Germ's good. I always lose on the channel.
What do you want to play for?
$5.
Yeezys?
Yeah. Yeezys?
We'll play for Yeezys.
Playing for Yeezys.
What does that mean?
Shoes.
What's that mean? Alright. I might just hit the 8 ball in now.
I like how I said $5 and you said Yeezys.
Well, yeah. That's how it works. We both like Yeezys. So I was trying to find something that we both like that would make us want to play.
Yeah.
What did I make?
You made a straight. I feel like the Yeezys would be too much pressure for the bottom.
I don't know where we're. Oh, I'm doing it.
There's a shot. There's like a time limit.
No, there's not a time limit.
It's like chess.
Yeah, right here.
Did you beat Simon in that one video?
Yeah.
No.
People talk more about my pool video of Simon than they have in any disc golf.
You think I can make that 13 in the set? On the quarter?
I think you could give it a go. Yes.
No. Why would you say that when I'm going?
I'm sorry. Nice little snooker job, dude.
What happened? You think I did that on purpose? Here's the thing. I don't know where they sell kid Yeezys, so I don't even know how we're gonna get Yeezys.
Size 6?
Yeah, yours is a size 6.5.
In the comments, let's see if you can guess my size. Pretty.
Think women's size.
Your shoes?
Think women's size.
Yeah, just give it a little hint.
Okay, this doesn't even make any sense, but I'm gonna make 3-ball because I'm a genius. So.
What are you gonna hit to make it?
The 2-ball and the 10-ball and the
Okay.
3-ball. Kind of that.
Okay, we didn't get lessons as children. You did.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm sorry, buddy.
He's actually really good at pool.
I know, he's just spanking all the time.
It's kinda
But
weird.
Pete was even better. It's because you had an older brother who was good at everything.
Pete was better at pool than you too?
Yeah.
He's cooler than you, he's better at pool.
It's pretty annoying how good.
He's got long hair.
He's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Like, seriously?
Did I mess up?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna win now. I'm gonna win Yeezys now.
I don't know what to do, Bob. I gotta go. Really? Kinda. Oh, now look who's snookered, huh? There you go. Woo. I'll get that.
Alright. Open table, huh? 15 all the way down. Actually, I think I could squeeze that 15 inside, but I don't.
I'll put a pair of Yeezys on those too.
If I can hit it inside, you'll give me a pair of
You see
Yeezys.
the angle?
If I can hit the 15 inside, you'll give me a pair of Yeezys.
No.
Come on,
I
dude.
just don't think you can.
It's on camera, you saying it.
Alright, yeah, yes.
You'll do it?
Yeah.
Okay. In the side.
In the side, Yeezys.
You played for those shoes out there you were showing me yesterday.
Yeah. What ones are those? The ones with the little ropes in there?
Travis Scott's. SB Dunks.
Don't even. Why did you say basketball? No.
Oh, come on! Seriously? That was it.
Thank you.
Come on.
Good shot.
Thank you. You worked me, man.
Yeah.
You were saying don't say that, and I whiffed.
I didn't think it's right.
Those aren't basketball shoes, those are skateboarding shoes.
You call them SB dunks or something. With
Yeah,
skateboard
skateboard
shoes.
Huh? SB. Yikes, there's no history of Nike.
Oh my gosh, whiff.
Hey, that-
This is embarrassing.
Oh, does it still count if I hit that 15 on the side for a pair of Yeezys?
No.
You're out. I wear men's sizes, size 12 and a half. Alright. I think I might want that 12 number. Get on the way.
Are we playing for Yeezys? I forgot. Uh-oh.
What do you mean?
This could be your last shot ever.
Why?
Cause I forgot we were playing for Yeezys and I'm gonna have to run the table. Can
Come
we
on,
miss
man.
right now?
Come on.
There could be about 30,000 people watching this game, dude.
13 right here.
I know, it's already embarrassing that it's not over yet.
13 right here.
Let me see that camera. Simon, don't watch this.
Watch the shot. Oh,
Okay, don't
block. Oh, actually set up.
I ain't taking that one.
It's not fair because I know they don't make Yeezys this size, so.
I think they're cheaper when they're that small though.
No, they're more expensive.
Less
Really,
shoes.
really rare, yeah.
You think less materials to make them?
No, that's not how the world works.
Always getting serious now.
Yeah, you just realize you need to do pair of shoes.
What the? Who put this here? What the heck? Where's that cue that matches my shoe size? There it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You actually should just put it that all the time.
Alright, here we go. I'll take it all the way down. Ew.
Oh, no.
Oh, throaty. Here you go.
Yeah, I don't actually use the full size. Makes sense. You want me to be salads now? Just to make it interesting?
Sure, we can switch it up.
No. 10 in the corner. Seriously?
Oh. Oh.
I think these rails are dead. So I didn't get the shot that I wanted.
Yeah. It's weird. Maybe I should just make this real quick.
Corn ripped all that construction out, and now he's driving at it.
Dude, don't put that on that TV.
Oh yeah, Corms didn't.
Yeah, we came here, it was like that.
Do that.
It was like that when we came here.
My Airbnb host is gonna be watching this.
Yeah.
I think it was just the road.
He's a fan now. Becky's. Bankies. No.
You just scratched the name off, you lost.
I want to go Bankies. Look really cool for my peeps. You gonna try to run this? Or
Yeah, I have to.
What just happened?
Uh-oh.
8 inside.
Oh, getting worse.
Corns, don't do it. What are you doing? You just cost me a pair of Yeezys.
I'll take that.
What are you doing? Out of here?
Yeah, right.
I'll see you at the course.
Okay, I didn't know if you're coming with the course.
Hey, thanks for that.
I got you. No problem.
That text.
Dude,
remember?
seriously?
Yeah.
A little text.
What?
That's how we do the text, dude.
Let's redo that.
I'll take the blacks and the reds. I think that's the real thing. Oh, all of a sudden. All of a sudden.
Here, actually, hold on. Stay right there.
Nice, those are my size.
Present to your new Yeezys.
I could literally.
Oh, there's his toe right there. There you go.
Thanks, dude. You're sick.
Yeah.
Nice, good game, dude.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Those actually look really good.
Look like
It makes it look like you have normal size feet. Yeah.
Just wear a few pairs of socks in there.
It's just stuff, son. Is there
I
actually-
can wear my shoes in.
Fair enough, yeah.
Alright, good game.